A massive welcome back here from the BigFoot Express Freight 700, the 4-hour endurance race here for the South African Endurance Series. We're in East London at the East London Grand Prix circuit for another exciting bit of action in the drama-filled season for 2019. It hasn't stopped yet. Literally since the word go, we've had action. We had two cars starting from the pit lane. Those two cars have had even more issues on that. The change of engine on the 333 car of James Forbes and Fritz Kleinans had a bit of an issue. They then cracked the block on their second engine, which they borrowed from Rian Botma. Rian Botma now has had an engine issue, and he's put a conrod through the block of his car. So Botma and Sarel van der Merwe are now out of this as well. Two of the Ligiers out. We've got a Ferrari that's got a bit of an ailing gearbox. It's got a brand new gearbox that was flown in overnight, courtesy of BigFoot Express Freight and Sun Moodley and his team, to get it here for Kish Patamba to get that gearbox sorted out. As soon as they got it sorted out, the third lap of action that he got out on track in, he had throttle body issues. So it's just been drama-filled. We've just seen an outright lap record broken here by Stuart White as well. Unbelievable. A 1 minute 16.076, the fastest lap ever around the East London Grand Prix circuit, set by a young man who, of course, has got a massive future ahead of him, being part of the Sauber Formula One team's development. So it's just incredible. Right now, as you join us, we're looking at, of course, the timing that's happening here, courtesy of ZA Timing. And if you want to pick up on that, it is on zatiming.co.za. We have completed 1 hour and 15 minutes. Craig Jarvis, who is Stuart White's teammate, is at the wheel of his own car, the Ginetta G57, and he now leads out by just over a lap on Nick Adcock in the A-Call 247 car. Paul Hill in the Aston Martin, who's just taken over the drive from Michael Stephen, multiple South African saloon car champion. He's sitting in third place with Mike McLaughlin in the backdraft Cobra, just crossing the line in front of me and down in fourth. Behind that is Brad Scorer, who is in the BMW, the Barron's Motorspares BMW from Bulawayo, of course, and teammate to Darren Winterboer, the man from Bulawayo. It's then Andrew Horn in sixth place for the Nash Sports Specials. Dane Angel is in seventh in the first of the official saloon car category cars, and that is the Autohouse Angel Honda Civic Type R. Trevor Graham in the second of the backdraft Cobras is up into eighth place, ahead of Dean Wilson, who's in the Gerald Wright Motorsport Sports 2000, and then it's Byron Oliver who's up into 10th place overall and looking to bring up that top 10. Charles Orangis is in 11th, but of course he will drop down the standings as they get into it. As we see a couple of the cars that were lapped earlier on, he was only out there just for the first hour and took the hour endurance championship race basically all on his own. There was no real competition for him in that McLaren MP4. So that's how it stands as you come to join us here for the second part, or in fact it's the third part of this race. We did have a little glitch in the matrix earlier on. So part three now of our action from the BigFoot Express Freight 700 here at the East London Grand Prix circuit, with Jarvis leading commandingly out front due to the fact that his young stablemate and teammate for the weekend has done an admirable job to get that car way out in front and basically completely out of harm's way right now. But I say out of harm's way with a bit of tongue-in-cheek, because you're never out of harm's way until that checkered flag drops at the latter part of the race. And with 17 minutes over the hour done, we've still got a lot of racing to happen. And as I say that, Dean Wilson pulls in the pit lane and comes in probably for a scheduled stop there in the Sports 2000 as he makes his way down the pit lane and down towards the Wright Motorsport box. He'll probably be handing over to Gerald Wright, his teammate. They're going to do a refuel. They'll check and see if all the tyres are okay and make sure that everything is okay. You can see coming across the line is the Ginetta, following, I should say, Brad Scorer, as he heads down towards turn one, Potter's Pass, and you can see in full flight that Ginetta down into lights ablaze into turn one. Potters just moving over, giving a little bit of room there to the Ginetta to get through. Good driving there from Brad Scorer, but also get an opportunity once again to possibly look at our graphic for the circuit and show you the kind of speeds and G-forces that we're playing around with here at the East London Grand Prix circuit. There it is. So if you look at it from left to right, the top part of the blocks there you can see is the G-force. The top right-hand side is the entry speed into a corner. What gear you're in is in the bottom left-hand corner of each block, and the corner speed you carry through that corner is in the bottom right-hand of the block. So if we head into Potter's Pass, you can see it's 2.32 Gs of force that come through there. You're in fifth gear. You're pretty much flat in an Aston Martin. This is based on Aston Martin's times, of course, and laps that were done yesterday. 255 k an hour entry, 220 k an hour corner speed, and probably about a 250 odd-ish exit speed, heading down towards Rifle, which is the second bend. It's not really a corner, it's just a little bend in the road, and you'll get about 1.9 Gs of force through there, 6 gear flat, and 255 k's an hour. Fastest car we've ever seen go through Rifle, of course, would have been Gordon Connolly in his Cowan Signs Jaguar in the old Westbank modified days. In fact, Westbank V8 supercar days, and he went through that 302 k's an hour on GPS, so showing that he's got what it takes. Then you get into Cocobana, the bottom corner on the bottom right hand side of your screen. You can see it's a little bit of a more difficult corner. Second gear, 2.5 Gs of force, and 158 k an hour entry speed into that one as you get on the brakes, and then get a chance to see what's happening as you corner through there relatively slowly, even in an Aston Martin, just over the 60 k an hour mark. Behind that, you head onto the beach straight. The beach straight will take you up to about 230 k's an hour into Gate Corner. You carry the corner speed through there about 120 into the S's, and then through the S's you go and accelerate up to about 130, 160 through the sweep, and back to about 230 k's an hour as you get to Beacon Corner, the final corner here at East London Grand Prix Circuit, to come across the line and complete a lap in anger. So that's what it looks like from East London Grand Prix's point of view, and the kind of speeds and G-forces and gear ratios that these guys are running in these magnificent endurance cars. So we're into hour and 20 completed, and now things should be sort of settling down for a little while. We've had a couple of cars come in for their scheduled pit stops. We've got a couple of cars still to do some scheduled pit stops, but the drivers that are out on track right now will all be thinking to themselves, okay, well, I don't need to push it. And you heard that from Stuart White if you watched part 1. You don't need to push lap record pace right now. It's now consolidating, making sure that you've got enough in hand to get you to the end of the 4 hours of racing that are scheduled here for this round of this championship. No changes in the top 3 as this stage. One thing we're going to be keeping an eye on, though, is Brad Scorer's ability to maybe close down on Mike McLaughlin. Andrew Horn staying ahead of Dane Angel. That's a nice little fight there between sports cars and purpose-built South African-made sports cars from the Nash stable, and fighting with the Dane Angel Honda Type R. Trevor Graham also there in 8th place, ahead of Byron Oliver, and of course Gerald Wright now into the top 10, even though he's just made his pit stop. Colin's down in pit lane though. He's got some action for us. What's happening, Col?
Problem. Kishore Patamba, you're standing next to your car, not so lacquer. What's going on?
We had a gearbox failure yesterday. We had a new gearbox brought in, fitted in just so we can do a few laps. We've gone out, unfortunately it's stuck in gear, and now it doesn't want to select at all.
And do you think you guys can fix it?
Well, there's still 3 hours left, so we've got to try our best.
You've got a hell of a team here, and the guys never ever give up. That's the spirit of endurance racing.
Absolutely. And again, we've got to go until the flag.
And you've got to keep us entertained with the sound of this car.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful sounding baby.
A baby. Good luck, and I hope they get it repaired.
Thanks, man.
Right. The other part of our job, which is not so lacquer, is we generally talk to Oaks when they've got not such lacquer news. We're going to go down to today's fastest Italian. And Romano's in his car. Franco's actually in the car. I lie. Here he is. Let's just see if he will talk to us. Franco De Mario, not lacquer being in the pits. What's going on?
We actually ran out of battery for some reason. And the car got stuck in 6th gear because the hydraulics and everything failed on it. So I had to cruise it home. But it looks like the battery just gave up on us. So we've just bolted in a big battery, sorting small things out, making sure that everything's right. We'll probably be out in a few minutes now.
Awesome stuff. You enjoying the race?
I love this car. I love this circuit, and everything is right.
You know, I've just seen this roll of duct tape. It wouldn't be a racing car without duct tape. I want to know, where are the tie wraps?
Right here, with the batteries.
And it's a Deltec battery, the new one that you put in there that's bigger and better and properer.
We were running some other make of batteries, and it just didn't last. So we'll put a Deltec. Let's see if it lasts now.
I'm glad you still got a sense of humor. And there's a whole lot of gold tape in the back there. It looks muravalaka. What's it all about?
That gold tape is not, it's actually pure gold, very, very thin gold that we put in. It's actually only for heat, so it doesn't damage the body and the suspension and burn everything else. So, yeah, that's what it's about, you know.
It must be a small problem because Romano's there with a small hammer.
You mean the bigger the hammer, the bigger the problem. I think we'll be on going now.
Awesome. Good luck. So,
hammer time.
Ramona,
It's hammer time.
you've got 2 hammers. Now just turn around. Talk. So what's the story with the hammers?
No, we just got an exhaust that's a little bit looser. You know, with exhaust, you've got to use a little bit of force, you know.
So they say.
You know? So it's good to have a hammer sometimes. In play.
Awesome. Good luck. And then the youngest driver in the race. We've got to have a quick one. You just want to see what the story is. Dave Sinclair.
Yeah.
You look fresh as a daisy.
Well,
Why aren't you driving?
The car because it's broken. Something happened.
Why did you break it?
No, Eric was driving, and he tried to pass somebody at the end of the straight. They did not see him, and they just turned into him.
You mean your elf can actually pass cars?
I can't say anything bad on the camera, but I would if I could.
You can say it. We're allowed.
You can edit it out, are you? No. No. Look, it's an accident. It's a racing accident. He probably didn't see him there, and he turned.
But is the car irreparable?
Something in the back suspension's broken. We can't really see what it is. So rather than cause a bigger accident, we would just rather retire.
Is it a case of not being able to find it, or can these help?
You're really being rude today, but anyway.
No, I've just got to push the
I'll
boundaries.
put up with you for today. Okay.
Oh, thank you very much.
I'm kind. No, it's a case of we're not sure what it is, and the back of the car is not straight. So rather than cause a big accident, we'll stop racing.
Better safe than sorry.
Absolutely.
But at least you can have a cold beer now.
Oh, you're not joking. That's for sure. Would you like to join me?
I'd love to, but
You've
I've got to work.
do.
Some call this work. I call it fun. I'm having a time of my life. Thank you very much, Dave. I'm having a time of my life walking up and down the pit lane, looking at lacquer cars, talking to lacquer people. It is absolutely magnificent. The BMW, the Winterbroek car has actually gone out. It's running. That turbo is turboing. The wing is winging. And the pistons, they're working. So back to you in the box. Cheers.
Thanks for that, Cole. Yeah, Craig Jarvis still out front. Nick Adcock and Paul Hill, your top 3. You're 100% right. The Barron's Motorspares BMW is back on track. And if I'm not mistaken, it's no longer Brad Scorer at the wheel, although it does say him on the timing monitor. Just looking as he crosses the line this time, it is still Scorer at the wheel. So maybe he's going to stay in for a double session and then hand to Darren Winterboer for the second half of the race. So maybe they've gone with a slightly different strategy to most of the teams out there, which is when they come in, do a driver change as well as the refuel and anything else they need to do. Coming into pit lane right now, though, is Uli Sana in the Alfa Romeo. So maybe Cole wants to head down to Alfa Romeo and see if their lone survivor is still going to be able to make it. He's heading into the pit lane right now. I think Cole's not too far away from that scheduled stop as the Alpha boys are waiting and expecting Uli to come in. We'll find out who's going to hand across to. That team, the Alfa Romeo team, of course, is Uli Sana, Terence Ladner, and John McLaughlin. So it depends on who's going to be getting into that car, and I can't see which driver is standing by. It looks like... I'm just having a look and see if I can spot helmets there. Uli Sana should be climbing out of that car. And I think that's John McLaughlin getting into the car. So Colin's down there. He'll give us a little bit more information on that.
It's red. It's an Alpha. Therefore, by definition, it is lacquer. Uli is getting out. The fuel is going in. They're doing nothing on the tires. Oaks are chilling out. Let's have a quick word with Uli. While he takes his gloves off, Uli. Pierre van Pieren telling Uli that it was lacquer and well done. Never lacquer to talk to you while things go wrong. At least you've got one Alpha still running.
Yeah, we only started with one. We still got it going. No, it hasn't been
I didn't want to go there.
not a good day for us, eh?
Sometimes you're the statue, sometimes you're the pigeon.
There we go. As good as it went last year, that's how bad it's going this year, eh?
But with the downs, they put into perspective the ups. And you've got to have them to have the joy of victory.
No, that's it. It's racing. If you look around the world, you've got to take it. If you can't take it, then don't be here.
Now you look forward to the 2 3-hour races at Welcome. That's a bit of a gearbox rebuild. refocus, and you're there.
Yeah, it's actually very small. It's the main drive shaft that just failed.
We saw it before they covered it up with a rag.
Yeah, no, it's just. So we'll send it away and have a look at it because it comes from Italy. It shouldn't happen.
And it's all that power you guys are making.
Nah, I got a suspicion that it's that off that we had in Cape Town. It actually damaged the thing. You can't see it with the eye. Unless you x-ray it, you won't see it. So, excuses. Just got to get on with it and make it happen next season, eh?
So some of the fun bits that we have is listening to drivers, and I'm going to call them their stories and their reasons. So far we're up to about 784, and I'm going to write a book one day, and then it'll make it easy for you guys.
I'll add 50 to it for you.
Thanks for talking to us. I want to have a quick word with Uli. Have you sorted the issues out with this car now?
Yeah, it was a minor. Just the CV joint cover came off, so they thought it was serious, but it was just clicking as the CV went around on one of the.
So it is true that when you hear a front-wheel drive car go cluck cluck,
you know it's driving. You know the wheels are turning.
and you know it's CV.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, thanks for talking to us. Uli, you're sweating, you're hot, and you're smiling.
Yeah, it's such a warm afternoon in East London. What can I say?
You've got to get the guys to put the air conditioner back in the car.
Another tough winter's day. The air conditioner would help, but it wasn't actually that bad. I think at that pace I can carry on for another hour or two.
And right, so you done for the day?
Hopefully. I'm done. The other guys are now driving, and I'll only not be done if one of them has a problem.
Awesome. Well, we hope that doesn't happen.
Me too, yeah. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Uli. Right, let's go. We've got some more action here, and we know there's action. There are clues in life, and I've got to keep my eyes up the pit lane because there are a lot of chirps about me getting in the way. The dogs, the dirty dog racing. We've got The Rock in the car at the moment, and they're coming in for their pit stop. They say they've made a playlist for us. They say they've got deep, dirty Cape rap for us. We haven't seen anything, but here comes Dane Angel in the Orderhouse Angel Honda, scheduled stop. They're going to fuel it. They're not going to put tires in it. They're going to do a driver swap, I think, or not, because I don't see a replacement driver. Right. They are having, there goes the driver. And he's coming back. Dane, The Rock, is thirsty. Jared, how long can he drive for?
Yeah, he can still go for a while. We're just playing it safe at the moment. So he's still going to go out for. We haven't quite worked out how long he's going to be out there for yet. But yeah, at the there's a bit hot in there.
And the rule for how long he can drive for?
Well, each driver has to do a minimum of 45 minutes, so we still got plenty of time to play with in terms of me getting in.
And of course, he's a gym bunny and a fitness freak and a beast of note. They don't call him the Hulk for nothing.
It's not Dwayne The Rock Angel for nothing.
I mean The Rock.
Yeah, I mean, so.
Right. Dwayne The Rock goes out. You happy with the stop?
Yeah, everything went smoothly, so no issues there. So. Yeah, happy.
Good stuff. Let's go and talk to an official here, because officials who are official, are you happy with that? You're officialing in that stop.
It's a good stop.
What do you look for in the stop? When we just got to get the light in your eyes, so that it's all about making sure that it's the optics. We get the optics right. Thank you very much for talking to us. We're going to go and do some proper work now because we've got the 15 in the pits. This is the Oliver car, John and Byron. They use a different refueling method. They go for the leisurely stop, the one that is not rushed, the one that makes sure that no mistakes happen. The wet blanket is designed to mop up any fuel that may or may not get spilt. Sorry, I've got to get the... No, I can like to talk English deliciously today. Right, so they bang the fuel in, new driver in, seat insert out. It's kind of got to let the air in because you can't get a liquid out. Physics, kids. It's so important. A liquid will only go out of a sealed container if you can put some air on the inside. This is a nice relaxed pit stop. Like to see this. They in the lead for the leisurely pit stop competition. That is an official award for that later today. As the Dane Angel car, Autohouse Angel, comes past us, they did their fuel stop, and next time they will change drivers and probably change some tires. Right, fuel done. Still no driver. It's the invisible man. He's come to drive. Hold on, leisurely discussion here. Let's just put a microphone in here.
You're coming along there, you'll see an oil slick. You'll see an oil slick all the way down the center of the road there. So just watch out, and it goes all the way through the complex, and the oil ends on that corner where there's a Ligier that's crashed because it's a blown engine. So there's oil from there all the way through the complex and out the other side, but you can see it, it's visible in the middle of the road.
There's oil all over the place. They thought I wanted to interview them. No, it's so cool when you just have a little bit of a chit-chat. It's about that time of race. There's a whole lot of... The leisurely pit stop continues. They have won the leisurely pit stop competition. Patrick, come with I. Because down here, the number one car, the aid call car, looks like it's coming in for a pit stop. There were clues. Let's talk to the senior engineer, Dr. Engineer Noons. Craig, is he coming in this lap?
Sorry?
Is he coming in this lap?
We've got a pit window, so we're going to just see, we're going to utilize that pit window to pit. So we're leaving him out as long as possible.
For those of us who are a bit dwarf, can you explain what this pit window story is about?
We were trying to minimize the number of pit stops, so we don't want to do too many pit stops. So we want to ensure that we can finish the race with as minimum pit stops as possible.
And in your case, your ideal number is 1.
1 would be ideal.
Is it going to happen?
It could be tight. It's going to be tight. With the safety car that we had, it does give us a little bit of extra, so we could do it. We could, but it's going to be tight.
How tight? Sharks wrecked him in a power dive tight? Or...
The shark comes scuba diving, and I've just seen it tight.
My apologies. With that, in the box, they are tight. Gregory.
Yeah, and Gary as well. So Gazza, so far so good for this race, but a bit of a race of attrition, buddy. The first half an hour of this race was just chaos. There were cars going off left, right, and centre. There was broken bits and pieces which were all being sorted out, but things have started to calm down a little bit.
Yeah, it has, and it's calmed down into a very exciting race. In fact, you're having a look at lap records being set, and now we're watching that beautiful Aston Martin going out there. Young Michael Stevens was in it earlier, setting a blistering pace in that car.
Yeah.
And now we got the older man, Mr. Paul Hill, in there. And I don't know if you've got a time on him.
Yeah. We got everything here, but you got to just play around with my computer here because I got live timing, I got social media feed, you name it. I've got lots to play around with here. If you look at the way things have gone so far, there we stand. Craig Jarvis, he's currently lapping in the 20s.
Yep.
Nick Adcock in the 22s. Paul Hill in the 25. That's not too bad. But Michael was doing 19.4s.
Yeah, but Paul Hill is what you and I would know as the gentleman driver.
Yes.
Michael Stevens is the goer.
Yeah.
Now, at doing 25, he's only been out there 3 or 4 laps. We've got to give him a couple of times. I reckon by his time he's been out there for 5 or 10 laps, he'll start picking up the pace quite a bit.
Get into the rhythm.
That's right. But then not only that, we've got 2 Nashes. They started the race and they're still both running very well.
Yeah.
Which is very exciting for a locally produced motor car and staying in there. And one of them is actually Index of Performance Challenger at the moment.
Yeah, no doubt about it. If you look at Andrew Horn and Howard Blake's times, they're pretty much spot on in terms of each other's driving ability and sitting 6th place overall. The second car is in 10th place overall. So you've got two of those Nash sports that finished second and third at Swartkops.
Correct.
In the top 10. So as this race unfolds, the reliability of those Nashes have been pretty much unmatched amongst other cars out there when you look at the attrition rate so far.
Yeah, but besides that, we've also got people sitting from all over the world watching us. I reckon the rest of the world must be on strike while we go broadcasting.
Yeah, look, there are a couple of people that they've gone to sleep. We're not quite as late as what we were last year, where we had a lot of interaction because there's a lot of guys around the world that have either just woken up or are going to sleep. I know all the people that were watching in New Zealand and Australia have sort of said their farewells and catch you guys later, and they'll probably watch the feed a bit later on. But I did have a question coming in. Maybe you can answer it as well. I tried to get Colin to get an answer for us. Simon Morris came and joined us, and he was asking about the amount of hours that you're allowed to drive as a driver and how much you have to drive before you have to change. We've seen Dane Angel out there for nearly hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
What is the legality there? How long are they allowed to drive for before they have to make a compulsory change?
Maximum 2 hours.
Okay, so each driver can do 2 hours.
Yeah, so what you might do is find Dane Angel coming for a pit stop, probably tap up with fuel, purely because of the situation they're sitting in. Their closest challenger, unfortunately, is out of the race. So they've got the game on their side, really. So they did not a splash and dash, but a bit of a top up and going out. And he'll probably come in around about 30, 40 minutes' time. The same with Howard Blake and what's his name?
Andrew Horn.
The Andrew Horn car. We know that they're doing one stop, so that gives them a 2 hour limit that they'll come in and change that car. And I think similarly with the second Nash, because those boys are actually in a good race together with them. But, you've got other things. Bradley scoring them out there.
He also stayed in the car.
That's right.
Didn't change to Darren,
You watch a lot of guys are playing this one-stopper strategy. But with the way this track has been treating us this weekend, I wonder who's going to be caught out in the last 10, 15, maybe even 5 minutes of the game, man.
Listen, in the hour endurance race we did just before this, in that incredible historic one, 3 minutes to go, we had a problem with a Porsche spinning out, and he lost second place with 3 minutes to go by spinning out a Copacabana.
That's the way the game goes.
It can unfold into complete, absolute chaos or drama by the time we get to the checkered flag time. And that's only in, 2.5 hours time still. So there's still a huge amount of work to be done out there by the teams, by the drivers, and of course by our crew too.
Correct. And it's amazing to see how many of certain people's fathers are watching. Like Mr. Michael Stevens has been online.
I saw Roger. Yeah, Roger.
Roger's
been there,
He's cheering on, and a couple of the guys hanging around Reds. I thought the guys are racing in Red Star, but they're watching us.
Yeah, no, that's what happens, bud. We put on such a good show that they want to watch us from all around the world. And even if they're racing at Red Star, they still want to check out what's going down here.
Yeah.
Particularly after all the action we had in the start. And, of course, the fact that we were touting a possibility of a new lap record. And that's just a mind-blowing event to be involved in. It's a great honor to be on the microphone. At the same time, you see a young man that has got a massive future ahead of him go and do an incredible lap time of 1:16.076.
Yeah.
That's fast.
That is very quick. And besides that, yesterday he was out in practice and that sort of stuff, and he got into the 15s too, but it wasn't in qualifying and it wasn't very well. So unofficially one of the fastest cars ever around.
The fastest car. There's nothing better than that.
As he said that he goes past us. Now that's
Craig Jarvis.
Craig Jarvis in the car going down. He's on the way down there. And to all of those, unfortunately, that have gone out, that beautiful Lamborghini of Simon, Murray and Gavin Cornier, my heart goes out to those guys. And I know that Simon actually flew in late last night, and I'm not quite sure whether they stuck around the airport and took the same plane back out again.
Yeah, good possibility.
I know they're not in town. And to the James Forbes and Fritz Kleinman's guys, unfortunately blown a motor.
Double winners. That's the kind of drama you can have. You come from a back-to-back win.
Yeah.
And you think, well, I'm coming to East London. It's a circuit that I really did well at last year. They were in top 3 last year.
Mm-hmm.
So everything was in there. The cards were unfolding perfectly for them.
Sure.
And then that little joker just got thrown in with a blown engine.
Yeah.
And not just a blown engine, the second blown engine of the weekend.
That's right.
That's a tough weekend.
It is. And also, just those of you that only just tuned in, just tell you the type of camaraderie that goes down in endurance racing. Yeah, we have the guys from BigFoot Porsche sitting down there. We have a Ferrari that gets a gearbox problem. We have a, what do you call that other car? A Porsche with a braking problem.
Yeah.
A couple of guys jump together, and next one, BigFoot is actually freighting the stuff overnight into town to get them onto the track, put in those spare parts, and actually end up racing.
Yeah.
And
that's mind-blowing.
That's the camaraderie. Now, the gearbox came from Starry Motorsport. when they heard the gearbox, he says, I might have a spare one lying at the workshop. So last night, a lot of people were running around Vereeniging over there trying to get the workshop open and that thing to the airport. And I've taken my hat off to them. They got it in time that Ferrari could actually start the race.
Yeah, and on time as well.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, literally, I think he had about an hour to play with. So they changed the Ferrari 360 Challenge car in less than an hour to get it ready to go for the start of this 4-hour endurance race. BigFoot Express Freight, of course, the main sponsor here, so it just shows you the kind of work that they get together and can do as the organisation that is underneath Sun Moodley, and his ability to sort of do the unthinkable.
That's right.
So
yeah.
hats off to them, well done for that. And of course, then take into account that you had Sarah van der Merwe and Rian Botma, who unfortunately have also just retired, with a Conrad going through their block.
Yeah.
Now, the spare engine they had is parked on the back of Fritz Kleinhans's car, which blew earlier. So
That's right.
that's more of an example of how the camaraderie works.
Not only that, on their car, they had to fly in a throttle body overnight to get the throttle body onto that car, put it back together again to be able to get out the race this morning. That's one of the reasons they were one of the pit stop or pit lane starters behind the Ferrari.
Sure. So that's the kind of drama that can unfold here. And of course, it's going to continue to unfold now as we're getting into the second hour of this race. It's 1 hour and 41 minutes completed, and we are still playing around. In fact, I just want to refresh this
and as
timing because it is
say
gone
that,
slightly. Yeah, you go ahead, Gaz.
No, the car number 27, which is a Franco de Mattia Ligier, is busy just making its way out the pit stop and unfortunately being pushed. Now, they were in with a bit of an alternator problem and battery problem, so I hope they managed to sort that out. And maybe Colin's down there. Colin, I saw him standing quite near there. Maybe he can pick it up.
An issue there on De Matteo's car. Maybe Colin can go and find out. I know they had to go and put a Deltec battery into that car because the original battery wasn't working, and they were working frantically down at it again. Cole's back down there. Let's see if we can find out what's going on. All right, we're going to wait for Colin to get that all sorted out. As soon as he gets that sorted out, we'll go back down to him. But you can see him just getting everything sorted out there for the interview and giving them a chance to get that car back into the pit box. They have to work in the pit boxes if they're doing any repairs to the car.
That's correct.
Looking at Bradley Scorer in as well, there, Gaza, in the pit lane. A little bit further back on that pit lane shot. We can't really pick it up from the angle we're on right now. But we have got the BMW in there from Barron's Motorspace.
Yeah, and sorry, just from my side, understanding what production's saying to us and things that are going on downstairs and the connectivity of the track, I feel exactly like some of the race teams are feeling right now when things are not going 100% the way you want them to go. But we'll stay with you guys and we'll bring it to you and keep you all informed.
Okay, well, before we go to Colin there, Craig Jarvis ahead of Adcock Hill and McLaughlin with Andrew Horn in the top 5. Colin, you've got some information there from De Matteo's car.
Well, you've got a whole bunch, right? But let's start.
Sorry, the link just dropped there to Colin's camera, so we'll get that sorted out. As soon as we've got Colin back up and running, we'll go back down to him there. But action continues on track, and it's just circulating at this stage. Not really any big issues at this point, other than maybe trying to get the dust off my timing monitor, because now it's just getting more difficult to see. But we work around things here. You know, that's why we carry Oakley sunglasses bags in your pocket, so that you can clean a laptop screen if it's absolutely necessary to do that. Craig Jarvis out front though. Nick Adcock in second. Paul Hill is third in the Aston Martin. It's Mike McLaughlin on their tail and Andrew Horn behind that. And then of course looking at Trevor Graham, Dane Angel, Gerald Wright, John Oliver and Brad Scorer, the top 10. Scorer just into the pits, so he's lost a little bit of ground there while he's in pit lane. But speaking of pit lane, Colin's down there. Let's see if we get his link right this time.
And we shall open the pit lane because ushering past comes Darren Winterbrew in his BMW. The issue was the gears weren't gearing and they need a little bolt. It's got a stick shift that's sequential, and the little bolt was not bolting. So they fitted a new one, and it's all got sorted. These are the chilledest guys in the world. They're just having some lunch and replenishing their energy and making sure that they're all ready to go, looking after the next pit stop in the Aston Martin, and some of them are getting thirstier than the others. The problem with the De Matteo car is the battery isn't batting. Electrical problems. We thought Eskom had big issues, but I tell you what, we got major stuff going down here. Franco's still in the car, They tried to push it. It's not Franco, it's Romano in the car. Franco's busy working hard to try and get it fixed. We're not going to try and talk to him now because he's otherwise engaged. They've got lots of duct tape out, but I think they need a bigger hammer to fix this problem. They are having a look at the alternator belt, and the issue with this thing is that it sits right at the front of the motor, and it's just about fully inaccessible unless you come from a planet far, far away where they have very, very long fingers. And Patrick, we're going to go and have a look at the backdraft. That's not doing so lacquer either. And while we walk up the pit lane, these guys, they have the A for Effort award. And in my races award kind of thing, Tony Martin has got some back issues that he's working through, that his granny told him that how to solve them. We've got it as a silver helmet. If it's silver, it's the Silver Fox, Tony Martin himself. He even has his seat back matched for it. Didn't have the seat in, so he's not going to be comfortable, not going to be able to reach the pedals because Mark is a little bit taller than him. Right, the fuel is in, and the backdraft will go drafting again as it goes down. Now we know that the Ligier is nearing their calculations a little bit earlier said that they needed to go just over 2 hours on this tank of fuel before they came into the pits. It's very, very tight, a fine calculation that they've made, and they want to make one pit stop to minimize the park time. Right, when Tony drives this thing out, we're going to talk to Mark, who's just checked stuff. Tire is lacquer. Mark, was that fun?
Yeah, good. The car's good. The car's really good. It's been really well behaved. You know, we set a pace that we thought we could run with a full tank. And we didn't hurt the tires. And obviously I wanted something left for Tony and I'll just give him a bag of bones. So the car responded really well. As the tires are wearing, it just, our pace we chose was really good offset with the weight saving on the fuel. So yeah, it's good.
And you're happy it can run till the end? Are you going to hang Tony out to dry till the end, or are you going to give him a break just before the end?
I'm not sure. What is the time? How long have we been out for?
It's a very good question.
I guess we're close to 2 hours. And I think Tony will just, he's an endurance expert. He would have gauged now the time it takes, and Tony will be able to manage it just with fuel consumption on his lap times. You know, you pull the lap time a bit to conserve. You know, dropping a tenth here or there is obviously a lot better than coming in for a stop. But I'm sure you'll see Tony in his true form now.
Was it you who had an issue with the little flat green car?
No.
So you're claiming complete innocence. He calls a backdraft causing trouble for them, but it wasn't you, must be the other one.
I hope so. If it was me, I don't even know about that. But I only saw him once down the straight, and I think we're pretty good.
They said it was the red one. The voices in my ear tell me it was the red one.
Let's go with the red one then.
Must have been Brian Martin driving there.
Brian's not in it. There he is. But yeah, thanks.
Yeah, good. Thanks for chatting to us. Let's just have a quick word. Brian, are you ready to drive?
I'm getting ready, eh? Car's coming in now.
Now or now?
No, he's on his way.
You better go and put a crash helmet on. The great South African saying, now, or just now. We never know what now is. But what I do not like is to start off the sentence with now. The Alpha is still, they're basically putting it together to take it home. We showed you earlier the input shaft. Freddie, it's proper FUBAR, huh?
No, it's
Can't you weld it?
It's not repairable. We tried, but it doesn't want to last.
Freddie, they say that you can fix anything.
I can, they say so, but unfortunately today we've got 2 cars broken already, and both we can't fix.
Given enough time, you'll get them ready for the next race.
Yeah, no, obviously, it's one of those things, it's a thing that you say how long do you run it, So
Just before it breaks.
yeah, just before it breaks. So now we know, we can calculate the mileage and say, okay, now we know how long it takes before it breaks.
Lovely. Thanks as always for talking to us, Freddie.
Okay, pleasure.
Freddie, normally a man of few words. Sometimes he talks even less than Henny van der Linde, and that is not a lot. Now we see Nick Adcock is about to come in because Michael Jensen is helmeted and there's a yellow flag. So this is the window that they were talking about, the opportunity to lose the least time and distance on the track. So it looks like he definitely is coming in. And there he goes past. Right, so it'll be one more lap before he comes in. Safety car is out. Greg, I'm going to talk to you very quickly, but you've got about an hour 30 to come back for this pit stop of the Adcock car.
No problem. An hour 30, I'll take my time. It's not a problem. So an hour 30, I'll just tell you that current ambient temperature is about 26 degrees Celsius. So we've got track temperatures of about 45 degrees Celsius right now. And things are looking pretty good here at the BigFoot Express Freight 700. I understand Colin meant a minute 30, but yeah, we are expecting that Adcock aid call 247 Ligier to come in. And I can tell you that things are going so well here that, I mean, even my granny sore back wouldn't be finding it difficult to be around this track right now. And we found that out already with Tony Martin and his ability with his sore back to get into a car. So Tony Martin is in the car right now doing a super job. And you heard from Mike McLaughlin that he's expecting him to just nurse the car home. Speaking of nursing the car home, Aston Martin is coming into pit lane, so Colin will be standing by at the bottom of pit lane. Cole, you're about to get pretty busy in pit lane, bud. Paul Hill is coming in. I don't know if this is a scheduled stop. It should be around about the time that he should be coming in because it's nearly on the hour. And, of course, we're going to hang on to the pit stops, these crucial ones, before we jump in.
Here they come. It is a scheduled stop. They looked for the window and they said if there's a yellow flag, then they definitely come in. So Paul Hill is coming in for the stop and Michael Stevens going to get in. They're going to fuel it. He's going to turn the car off. And then coming into the background, we've got the number one car, which is the aid call Ligier. There's a bit of a drama here. I'll tell you what we want to do is this is a little bit slow. So Pat, we've got the one car and that is Nick Adcock getting out, Michael Jensen going in. I'm going to look between these two over here because the next pit stop that's happening is way up the end there. The Janetta's coming in and they're going to change wheels as well. You can have a good look at that. So they've got some new tires ready for the Ligier, the number one Adcock car. Michael Jensen has got in the car. The Aston Martin, they're going to refuel and also put some tires on it. So Patrick, while they're busy getting Jensen in here, come focus this way, Patrick, and we can have a good look. Brand new sticker tires, sticker Pirellis going on. I love the sound of the rattle guns in the morning. And the sticker tires, they still got the price on them. That's how brand new they are. They new, the newer. And they genuinely do have stickers if you just get an idea. The Pirelli P0 is going on. Now, the other thing is when the Ligier is ready to rock, he's going to bolt out of here really quickly. Two different kinds of air guns being used here. The music, right. Bit of an issue there. Airline has just come loose from a gun, kink it, and the air stops. Fuel is in, new driver is in. Owner, driver is out. They're busy changing the right-hand side tires over here. It sounded like there was a bit of an issue on the left-hand side tire, and I'm busy looking up the pit lane there to see if the Ligier's come in. Hasn't come in yet, so he must be behind the pot. Right, we need to get out of the way. Michael Stevens will bolt, leaving a clear angle over here. Careful. We've got a car coming here, and there's a Blake Horn car.
Right, Carl, sorry to jump in there, but we do have a situation. Safety car has been deployed as well, so we must have an issue on track. We were so busy with the action that was happening in pit lane, it looks like there was a bit of an action-packed maneuver out on circuit. Trying to pick up exactly where it is. Got my good friend Ivan looking out there as well to see if we can spot where that problem is. I don't see yellow flags in the complex, So I must assume it's down at Cochabana. There's some flags waving at Cochabana there, and possibly at the top of in fact, on the back straight. So if we get a camera shot of the back straight heading up towards Beacon, there you can see the incident. And I don't know if we can zoom in on that car. It looks like it might be the backdraft Cobra. It might be the Cobra that's involved there. I'm looking on my screen, but it's a little bit too far away on the screen. I don't know if we can zoom this camera in. If we can, we might be able to pick up on who that car is. And it's a car stricken on the back straight heading up towards Beacon. There's also some yellow flags down at... okay, that's just not good, hey? If it's run out of petrol, then it means they haven't timed their window to perfection. A fuel issue. I see the Janetta in as well at the same time. They've definitely timed it to perfection. So it's Craig Jarvis now in pit lane handing back to Stuart White. And that refueling is going to be done. But there you can see it is the backdraft Cobra. It's the red one. It's the red one that was being piloted by Trevor Graham and was going to be handed over to Brian Martin. But I think they've just missed that. They've just missed that window of opportunity there, Carl. So you can see it's vital to ensure you get in before you run out of fuel.
Right, Craig Jarvis has just got out of the car. Craig, before you run away, that was Craig. They had a great opportunity there. You had a great opportunity for, with the safety cars, giving you the opportunity to come in and change tires and not lose a lot of time on track. Everything good with the car?
Car's going perfectly. It's getting a little bit tail happy, so they're changing the tires. And we were ready to do a pit stop now, yeah. So because it looks like they're going to take quite a long time.
And you got one more pit stop to make?
Yeah.
After this. Awesome. You look hot, you look sweaty, you look tired.
No, I'm actually quite fresh.
Well, because you're an athlete, a finely honed and tuned athlete.
I'm battling to hear you.
You're a finely tuned and honed athlete.
Exactly.
Thanks for talking to us, Craig, and thank you for laughing and sharing a sense of humor with us. Right, guys, that's about the action that we've had.
Colin, come back to me quickly, bud. We got...
It's busy, it's fun, it's kind of lacquer. We're going to go...
Thanks,
Cole.
Yeah, you can see...
later, I want to try and talk to Sarl and Rion Botma. But for now, Greg, take it away.
Thanks, Cole. Okay, there we go. Officially back from Colin now as they come onto the back straight. You can see the second of the backdraft Cobra is going to be taken back into pit lane on the back straight, heading up between the big right-hand sweep and, of course, Beacon Corner. Tony Martin is into pit lane. I'm not quite sure why he's come in. McLaughlin's waving him through. Maybe he just had a miscommunication on which backdraft Cobra they're talking about as to who'd run out of fuel. So maybe he thought he had to come in for a splash and dash and they hadn't given him enough fuel into that backdraft Cobra of Tony Martin's. It's the one of Brian Martin who's waiting for it, actually. Trevor Graham at the wheel and Brian Martin standing by to get into that car. But they've got to get it back into pit lane now behind that Toyota Hilux that it's being towed behind. So a little bit of drama here into the second part of this race. And, of course, as things are going right now, under safety car, it's not a bad plan because there's not much action in pit lane other than that changeover. That we give you a little bit of a break and maybe come back to you in a few minutes' time with part 3 of this incredible bit of action. Okay, we're going to go down to the pits first. Colin apparently has got something down in pit lane and then we'll be heading off after that. Cole?
The red backdraft ran out of petrol. How do you guys run out of fuel?
We're not sure if it's petrol, Carl. It could be alternator. He's telling us now the alternator light's on.
It's a big red light.
Yeah, the big red one, yeah.
Okay, cool. How soon will you know what it is?
Change alternator now.
Right, they're going to change the alternator, they're going to put some fuel, and they're going to change the driver. So for now, from the pit lane, talk to you later. Bye.
Thanks, Cole. Yeah, and for now, from us up here in the commentary booth as well, join us in about 5 minutes' time on part 3 of the BigFoot Express Freight 700 here at the East London Grand Prix circuit. We're about to go racing again. The safety car is in, but we'll be back with the racing in a few minutes' time. For myself, Greg Miller, and we'll see you soon.